Do you have on the agenda yes, of course. Chips is quite.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can I start? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this session, which is called Enhancing Research and Excellence to Bridge the Innovation Divide. My name is Signe Ratso. I'm Deputy Director General of DG Research and Innovation. And it's my great pleasure to moderate this session. Now, before introducing our speakers, two of whom are joining here with us today, and two speakers we should have online. But before introducing them, let me just say a couple of words by means of introduction to this session. We know that Europe's full potential can only be achieved if all regions and member states contribute to it. At the moment, Europe still continues to suffer from what we can call stubborn innovation divide. That on the one hand hinders innovation performance, but at the same time also puts long-term economic and social cohesion at risk. However, research and innovation excellence can be found in all corners of Europe, and several member states are doing significant strides to develop their research and innovation policies, to improve their research and innovation investments, and modernize the functioning of their relevant systems. They do that through the design and implementation of structural reforms, also by means of improving the overall business conditions. And Romania and Bulgaria are two EU member states which are clear examples, as we see this reflected in their improved performance already in Horizon 2020. So this session will particularly showcase how Bulgaria and Romania are developing their innovation policies, which are geared towards identifying, supporting and scaling up scientific and innovation excellence. But we also will discuss what renewed efforts are needed in order to continue this very positive trend. And as said, I have a very distinguished panel composed of Minister Milena Stoicheva, Bulgarian Minister for Innovation and Growth, here with us today. Online, we have Minister Bogdan Groia Ivan, Romanian Minister of Research, Innovation and Digitalization. Here, joining with us, Professor Adrian Curaj, Director General of Romanian Research and Innovation Agency. And online, we have Professor Martin Vecev, Chair of the Institute of Computer Science, Artificial Intelligence and Technology in Bulgaria. So, without further ado, let me start putting questions to our speakers. Minister Stoicheva, Bulgaria is performing rather strongly in the European Innovation Council, notably in the areas of artificial intelligence. So can you explain to us what are the reasons behind it? What type of policies that have led to this great performance? And in your opinion, what policies should continue in order to build this positive momentum? Please.
Thank you. First, let me tell you that it's really a great pleasure and honor to be speaking today exactly on this topic on research and innovation and the potential that we can bring through investment in research and innovation. I think that I actually feel pretty lucky to be in the role of Minister for Innovation and Growth, because I think Bulgaria made a good bet on this, and at the forefront of the main goals and mission of the ministry is, on the one hand, to encourage investment in innovation, and the other main, let's say, goal is to attract investors who are interested in investing, strategic investors in technology and innovation. We do believe that we cannot advance as society if we do not invest both in the human capital, in the talent, and also in the potential, in the knowledge economy. The biggest asset that we have is the potential of people to create the future technologies, the future products and services that are going to create both opportunities for society to develop, but also to be sustainable. So I also would like to greet my dear colleague, Mr. Bogdan Ivan, the Minister of Digitalization and Innovation in Romania, because this is something that we started together. When I joined in this role, we have been talking in the region that is very important for our countries, and also for people who share the vision about growth through innovation and technology development, as well as investment in R&D, to start collaborating, to work together. And we've already signed a memorandum of understanding to be partnering in key emerging technologies. And I think this is one of the answers I'll give to you, what we are doing. We are investing, we identified smart specialization areas in our country, and we have developed centers of competence and excellence through which we would like to build a pipeline for commercialization of these technologies, invest in that capacity and that capital, and support the growth of companies, startups, scale-ups, and spin-offs from these sectors, where we believe we can really add value. We are also working very effectively on bridging the gap between industry and academia and business. And we have a special program that we have identified in our funding, competitiveness funding mechanisms, to support closing that gap, and also to encourage and incentivize companies to start investing specifically in innovation activities and potential. And one other thing that I would like to mention, we believe that investing in additional funds to develop capacity for space sector, which is something that we reopened as an opportunity for young people and also scientists to be encouraged and to work together. Space sector, chips, robotics, and the biotechnology. These are all areas where we will continue investing and working jointly with our institutes. One of the best examples that you will see here being described in the name of Insight.
Super. Dear Minister Stoichev, many thanks for your impressive insights. You mentioned several technology areas. We will have a chance to look into one of those, AI in particular. But before that, let me now turn to the next speaker, Minister Ivan. Romania has put forward one of the most ambitious recovery and resilience plans in terms of research and innovation. Many measures are geared towards transforming the governance, funding and functioning of the system to modernize it. We were also pleased to support you with the policy support facility in doing that. Now, can you please tell us about the main measures that you are undertaking and how is it all coming along? Please, over to you.
Thank you very much for the invitation to be part of that very wonderful meeting. I say hello to Miss Minister from Bulgaria, to any participant of that wonderful meeting, to Mr. Courage, our representative of our agency. And I'd like to tell you that Romania have 11 very important milestones and reforms. In that moment, I just came from a meeting with Celine Gower, the EU Commissioner representatives in Romania, about implementing of recovery and resilience plan over here. And our ministry is in line with all the projects and reforms here in Romania. And first of all, we speak about reshaping the entire ecosystem of R&D in Romania, starting with the public institution, with the private institution, and the most important, to put the very, very important focus on technological transfer from the lab to the market. And in that way, with all 11 our specific projects, we are in line. And I'd like to tell you that since June 2023, before today, Romanian government, through our Ministry of Research, Innovation and Digitization, brings only for research ecosystem projects which is around 1.2 billion euros just in last 9 months. And that is part of that from the public budget of the government and from the EU funds from Recovery and Resilience Plan. And in that moment, most important for us, we put it in 6 very important pillars: digitization, industry and space, agriculture, bioeconomy, natural resources, biodiversity and environment, health, energy, mobility and climate, civil security for society, and culture, creativity and inclusive society. In that way, we start together with the CDI, with Mr. Courage, a very wonderful project, Excellency Centers in Romania, with 320 million euros, is the most significant investment from the public budget in last 34 years in research and innovation ecosystem of Romania, 320 million euros. And in the same time, we don't left the private companies and private research institutes behind, and we bring more than 650 million euros for 7,500 companies with activities in research and innovation. And definitely the most important pillar for us is the fact that we give the excellence on the first stage, and we bring at the Romanian Gala of Innovation 10 very important prizes to most innovative researchers from Romania in September. And definitely that is only the start, because in parallel, we're working in that moment at AI strategy, and we already end the entire debate about it, and we'll adopt into the government in the further weeks. We already are to put in the public debate the quantum technology Romanian strategy. We're part of European blockchain community, and definitely starting with all of that new stuffs together with our friends from Bulgaria and from other CE countries, we try to make our countries as regional hubs of new technologies, and definitely of one of the most important technological hub with services not only for our region but for another continents. And in that way, definitely we are committed to make the things happen, because we have a golden mine in brilliant minds of our researchers, of our IT&C workers, and in the same time we are on the second level of number of women in IT&C sector from entire Europe, with more over than 40% of researchers from entire ecosystem. And in that way, definitely we are trying to make our best, and we start to make a pragmatic partnership from the government to the private market and universities and research institutes. And in that way, in December 2023, we bring the new law about public-private partnership with strong focus on technological transfer. We are committed, and in EU Commission we have a very good friend and ally. And using that way, I would like to thanks to Ms. Iliana Ivanova, EU Commissioner for Research and Innovation, for their visit in Romania 2 weeks ago, and for her commitment to bring Romania, Bulgaria, and Central and Eastern countries in the top of new technologies and in the right place for them with their brilliant minds of our young students and researchers. Thank you very much for your support and for your partnership. And I say all the good stuff to the Mr. Stoicheva, and thanks for that and wonderful partnership into our strategic hub of new technologies. Thank you very much.
Well, many thanks, Minister Ivan, for these impressive figures. Also, very important points that you raised. Thanks again as well to bring into the play the regional aspect. So now I see already this Bulgarian-Romanian connections already working well, also in a wider regional context. Now, let me turn to the next speaker, Professor Vechev. Now let me turn to you for a kind of a reality check. So Minister Stoicheva mentioned both the importance of the human capital, as well as the development of the groundbreaking critical technologies. Clearly, artificial intelligence is one of those. We also need to bring the human-centered aspect there. But let me ask you, Bulgaria seems to be really developing some groundbreaking expertise in the field of AI. Can you please share with us the work of your institute and also to what extent some of the policies have enabled you with this success story? And thanks as well, keeping into the time in order to give the opportunity to all the speakers to speak. Please, over to you.
Yes, thank you for the invitation to speak today. I'm honored. So let me tell you a little bit about Insight, because I think Insight is a game-changing and disruptive initiative for Eastern Europe in general, and how to do class AI research and innovation in the region. So I think Insight should really be of extreme interest to any country in the region model. Not even in the region, any country that is starting new initiatives, right, in this space. So Insight was created 2 years ago in partnership with ETH Zurich, where I'm professor in computer science, and EPFL, Lausanne. These are some of Europe's and the world's top technical universities, Swiss universities. And the Bulgarian government made a very substantial investment of about $100 million, 90 million euro into Insight, and lately another 150 million euro for creating large-scale AI compute for training big foundational models. So what's very interesting about Insight and what Bulgaria has done is that it only 2 years been since creation. It was created in April 2011. It has successfully transferred the model of the top universities in the world, like ETH, EPFL, MIT, and Stanford, and others to the region, to Sofia, to Bulgaria. And I think this is a complex model, very complex model, how these institutions actually work, and how the research work, how the education work, the startups, and so on and so forth. So what led is that there are many side effects of this. So many things happen for the first in the history of Bulgaria, and I think in the region. So I'll give you some examples, which I think for many people are kind of mind-blowing, right? When we tell them they have a hard time parsing this. So Insight attracted one of Europe's most excited AI scientists. I think it may be top 1 or 2 in the history, Professor Luc Van Gool, to move to Sofia and work there. He's also a founder of about 13 deep tech companies. It attracted many world-class researchers, both foreign and local, returning home to work in Bulgaria in very strategic areas. It published for the first time in Bulgarian history publications at the very top venues for AI, for instance, where the ChatGPT technology appeared, NeurIPS and other places. It recently released the first open and free GPT language model, BGGPT, Bulgarian GPT model, which is now being adopted by the administration everywhere, by the business and so administration everywhere, by the business and so on and so forth. So it's exploding. It's actually reaching the levels of GPT-4 when specialized on a particular task. And we are about to do it for other countries in the region. It's the first institute in Eastern Europe that joined the ELIS network. This is Europe's most elite AI research network. It was a co-founder of an Open AI Alliance with IBM, Meta, and many top universities. We have thousands of candidates that are applying to Insight from around the world. It created deep tech companies, and all happened very, very quickly. So, what's extremely interesting about Insight, I think, as a case study, is that Bulgaria with Insight created a prototype for how to actually do world-class science and research in Eastern Europe, how to bridge this innovation gap between the East and West, right? And if you want to think about the way you should be going and how to actually scale this to all the countries in the region and even beyond, is that this really is a European Research Council grant that many of you are familiar with, which I think the most important initiative, one of the most important initiatives in Europe for sure, for competing with US and China. But now it's a ERC at the level of not a person, but at the level of an institute where only scientific evidence matters. So I do feel that the next European program that should be created should be modeled after Insight, because that's an extremely successful initiative. And it essentially should be a European Research Council grant, not at the level of a person, but at the level of an institute. And I think this will have a tremendous impact on the region, which I think, as the minister has said before, and everybody knows, there is wonderful talent in the region, which oftentimes leaves. So I think this will have an incredible impact, and that's my suggestion. I think that's why Insight is so interesting. Yeah, so that's it from me.
Okay, many thanks, Professor Vechev. Really giving an excellent example in your case on the AI, and I think it goes beyond the regional collaboration, because it already goes into the international collaboration and international competitiveness. But we still have one more speaker who's joined us here. Professor Kurac, you have a long and distinguished career in different roles, but always linked with research innovation in Romania. As Director General of the Romanian Research Innovation Agency, how do you see scientific and innovation excellence being developed in the country, and how can these examples act also as a catalyzer for systemic-wide change? What would be needed to do, in your view?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, each and everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really glad to be here with you. And I stop here because I know time is not with us. It's good and bad to be at the end of the session, because I changed totally my presentation, because things are very interesting and I want to replay in a way and to capture what was said. But I will say something about the way we facilitate the development of scientific and innovation excellence. I will touch on 3 directions we work on, and I will come back a little bit to the policy coherence and the way we look at the synergies and complementarities in different funds. So it is a complicated endeavor to facilitate the development of science and innovation. You have to look at the interventions and facilitating a proper culture. You have to look at the way you support collaboration, also ethics, integrity. Why not in this context the scientific entrepreneurship? It's quite interesting for us, and also doing all the best for having a nice, attracting science and innovation ecosystem. And I have 3 points. The first one is on, around governance. And I will say here that for us, for Romania, what we have done is a strategic cohesion and alignment for RNI strategy and science and smart specialization strategies. We have 1 at the national level and 6 for each region in Romania. And this strategic alignment help us a lot. How and why? How? For the last 20 years, 2 decades, we run foresight exercises for Romania and at the European level. And running foresight for research and innovation help us to make a difference here. In, again, strategic cohesion and alignments between different strategies. Second, for such an endeavor is also important to have a kind of whole of government approach. And I am very glad here to say last year we managed to have for the first time, since I know what is happening in Romanian, a Council for Science and Innovation and Policies in Science and Innovation chaired by the Prime Minister. And the consequences are immediate if we are looking to the increase in, immediate increase in research and development intensity, and more visibility for science and innovation, and also help for having a vertical and horizontal cohesion. The next point I want to touch, and we did a lot, is investing in talents. And this investment in talent started years ago when we decided in a very tough way to open the science innovation system in Romania for the foreign experts. And everything is doing well, no any constraints formally or informally for foreign talent to work in Romania. Addressing funds, schemes, everything. It's English lingua franca is the lingua franca. Evaluation is internationally, and quite nice, beautiful, interesting, different small and big funding instruments covering the whole developing career and different parts, career pathways if people want to stay in Romania. And salaries, this is something we managed to change significantly. Salaries in Romania are equal with salaries scientists could have in the framework program. So national funds with framework programs are equal from the point of view of salaries. And the third point is international collaboration. Actually, international collaboration for us is just selecting partners. It is not working. It's, of course, Europe is the core of the core. We are deeply in, but also working overseas to be capable to be part of this talent movement of brain circulation. So the 3 points. And I will come a little bit back with what you, Minister, said and what my minister said, looking a little bit at the complementarities. You know, in Europe, it's hard to talk about the synergies. You know, don't touch this because it's nice, but if it is to walk the talk, it's quite complicated. But just to give you an overall example of coordination and cohesion of policies. At the national level, we have a science and innovation strategy. Science and innovation strategy is putting my money essentially for strategic research agenda of Romania focused on societal challenges and economic challenges of Romania. Is challenge-driven based research funding. But for the structural funds, we decided at the national level to finance Center of Excellence, is something transversally. And it is a coherence and complementarity between Center of Excellence in addressing technologies and what is happening at the regional level with their priorities, and transversal Center of Competencies in technologies help regions to benefit from what is happening. So a mix of different instruments. And my minister said something about Center of Excellence. If smart specialization and Center of Technologies are about innovation and industrial transformation, and sustainability now more and more. Center of Competencies and Center of Excellences in what we are putting money, national money, are about building significant excellence capacity around strategic research agenda of Romania. Everything is well connected with business, and I stop here because we are at the end of the session. Sorry.
Many thanks, Professor Kurac, for that. In the interest of time, I won't make an extensive conclusion, but let me just highlight a few takeaways. First, the importance of the strategies and the alignment of the strategies. Second, the importance of human capital, development of talents, development of human capital. Then also, even if you said that it's a touchy subject, but still we know that both the cohesion funds as well as RRF, as I mentioned, have contributed a lot also to the research and innovation objectives. So coherence there as well. And finally, thanks as well of underlining the international collaboration, because I think this would be a nice introduction already to the next sessions, which will also take place here.
Okay.
So many thanks to all the speakers in this session, Minister Stoicheva, Minister Stan, Professor Kurac, and Professor Vecev. So many thanks. Also many thanks to the audience. We didn't have, unfortunately, time for the questions because now we need to move to the next session. But many thanks for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Yes.